Sul, vi now Fredersche, Sims, and when last we left off, Jim loves crying. That really is the only status update that Dave and Yvette are concerned about right now, as they're spending alternate days not being at work so that they can take care of their son. Jim does love to cry, and there are 3 interactions you can go through to try and stop Jim from crying: feeding Jim, playing with Jim, and singing Jim to sleep. And while it seems like that singing is the only thing that seems to mollify Jim, that may not be the case. It could be the fact that Jim needs to be played with and then sung to sleep, or Jim needs to be fed and then sung to sleep, or Jim needs all 3 interactions. And if I just sung Jim to sleep, Jim still might have cried, because it's like, you sung me to sleep, but I'm still hungry! I need food! But Jim can't tell us this, so instead it comes out as crying. Just doing all 3 interactions in that order, feed, play, sing, is pretty much a guarantee that you will sort out whatever need that Jim has. Once Jim becomes a child, it gets a lot easier, as the needs of a child in this game are exactly the same as the needs of an adult, although how you fulfill them can differ a little because there are some interactions that a child can't do, the most important of which is that a child can't cook meals from the fridge. All they can muster up is a snack, which means that Dave and Yvette are going to be serving meals a lot more often than they used to. Because sometimes they'd only have to prepare a single meal, but they're always going to have to think about Jim, because Jim can only rustle up a packet of crisps. Sure, he could get a lot of packets of crisps, but it's going to be really expensive and it's going to take a long time if you just let Jim feed himself. And I don't remember if children can order pizza in the game. I don't think they can, but it would be awesome if they could, eh? Meanwhile, on the other side of the road, Samuel is focusing on making lots of money. He's currently at work doing just that, and wouldn't it be great if he came home and brought another 30,000 simoleons with him? I know the chances of that event happening are astronomically low, and I was very lucky the first time round that happened. But we can always hope, eh? I think we're hoping in vain. Also, we have some more bills to tend to, which means that another 900 or so simoleons are about to disappear. No random event in our benefit. It is time to stop that interaction and then tend to the mail. And then we'll probably have some interactions with Melisande afterwards. We need to take care of the bills first because the bills aren't going away. And Melisande is heading this way anyway. What we really need actually is a small table around about here. Also, the bills have got a bit cheaper. And by a bit cheaper I mean 35 or so simoleons. They are only going to get less expensive the longer we have all the things in this house. There we go. Bills have been taken care of. It is time to interact with Melisande. I think we'll pet once, maybe again, and then we'll have a hug between Samuel and Melisande, just to deal with that social interaction, not only for Melisande, but also for Samuel. He might as well keep that topped up to maximum. It's going to take a few more interactions for Melisande. Also, room for Melisande is rather low, and Samuel when it's very late, because there aren't many lights around here, which means that the room just plummets. After all, there might be some nice surroundings, but he can't see them. And I think one more interaction will do the trick, or you're just going to go to sleep. We're just going to get rid of that interaction and have Samuel do other things now. But what can he do? There are many things that he can do on an evening. For instance, he could go and ring Yvette. That seems like a really good idea. Let's just call Yvette and say hello. And then call Samuel and say hello. Let's just hope he doesn't interrupt Yeti Man this time around. We'll have him call Yvette and just say hi. Hello Yvette, how are you? I just got back from my job as a software CEO. Okay, are you going to pick up? You are going to pick up. Are you going to have an interaction? You are going to have an interaction. Excellent. It's going much better than the one that Dave and Samuel typically have. And this will give about +5 to the relationship, and that will also improve social. Not that it really needs improving, but it's always good to keep this relationship nice and topped up. Could we ring Dave? It's worth a try. It's probably going to fail, but we could certainly try. Let's give that a go, shall we? This isn't going to go well. We really need a small table there, I think, just to put the bills on, or anything that we get. Blah blah blah, you just go on and on and on. Okay, never mind, let's not ring you. Okay, I think we may have angered Dave a little bit. We're gonna have to buy a small table for there, I think. Let's do that. There are small side tables called end tables here, and there are some pretty good ones. They're rather expensive, but the amount of room they give isn't so bad for the price. I think we'll be getting this one here, the Queen's Rose end table for 399 simoleons. An excellent quality rosewood centre table, the Queen's Rose end table is a herald of sophistication and good taste, copied from the original now on display in SimCity Metropolitan Art Museum. Ornate carving on the legs done under strict supervision of antiquities researchers, part of the Furniteology collection. We're going to put that right there, and if we get bills, we can put them on that table. And I still think we can reach the phone from there, which is important. We can't stand right next to it, but we can still reach for the phone. What do we want you to do? We could have you play the piano for a tiny bit, and maybe we'll even have you have a day off work. Nah, you need to make up that money that you just spent on bills, don't you? After all, you need to have even more money if you're going to buy new carpets. Also, that music is really good. We may even have you build a swimming pool at some point. Not that you're really going to use it, but we could have you build one. Somebody else may use it after all. Maybe one day you'll host a house party, and you'll be able to pay for a DJ and everything. It's very expensive to get a DJ, mainly because you need the DJ system that is downtown, and it's really costly, about 5,000 simoleons. You can use it to practice creativity, though. He's really good at that. Far better than I ever got at playing the piano, that's for sure. Massively better. And there are only about 3 or 4 tunes. He will go through them really quickly as we play, and then he'll just keep repeating them. It's a shame that you don't have a lot of tunes that they can just play, like maybe 10 or 20 per skill level. The chance that you'd have them repeating would then be far smaller. Alright, I think your fun is, yep, maximized, so we'll have you stop there. There is a little more you could do, but to be honest, I think you going to sleep is important here. Time for you to get some much-needed rest. We'll have you have a day at work, and then you're going to have a day off. I've no idea what you're going to do on that day off, but you might as well have it. Maybe the phone will ring again, and then you'll be too tired to pick it up. We'll actually have the phone here. That seems like a really good idea, because having the phone there makes it that much easier for you to get it. Actually, I think there might be better. There we go, that is better. Having it there is better than having it there, because you can just walk there and answer it, as opposed to running all the way over here. The few minutes that you save there might make all the difference. I think it's time for you to get up, Samuel. It's nearly 5 o'clock. The sun is positively almost about to rise. We'll just have you... Actually, what am I doing? You should have food first, and then do these actions. We have no idea what's happening. But whatever it was terrifying. Momentarily terrifying. You don't need to actually work on your fun. So you have that little bit extra time this morning to do whatever you like, and you can complain all you like, Samuel. You are living in the literal lap of luxury. You cannot complain about that night's sleep. Danielle in the way, though, you can have a little bit of a grumble about that. Danielle is fine. All of those needs are great apart from energy. And Melisande, all of those needs are good apart from hunger. Speaking of hunger, yep, they're both full. You don't need to fill those up again. You need to fill up your stomach, though, and you'll be doing that with another delicious meal. We might as well actually work on your cooking for a little bit and get that up to maximum if we can. There we go. You're going to have food, and then you're going to deal with bladder and hygiene. Really not going to take you that long, though. Hunger is at maximum. Miles over maximum, actually. If your cooking went up, that would be even higher. You could actually pretty much have it from about here, and then go to nearly maximum. I wonder what it would be like at maximum cooking. You could pretty much be nearly empty on hunger, and then fill it up to the highest it can be. I wouldn't recommend having your hunger reach that level, though, because it wouldn't take much for it to go down to nothing, and then for your sim to die. and with no other adults in the household, that would be a problem because that would mean that nobody will be able to plead with death to save Samuel's life. That is something you can do. If death comes to reap a soul, you can plead with death and bargain for the sim. Sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does, and sometimes there's a middle ground where it kind of works, but in general you don't want to get into that situation. And if you're careful, you rarely will. Time for a shower, and then unfortunately you won't have much time to do anything else, but that's okay, because you're going to be going to work in a fantastic mood. Room isn't that good in here really compared to everywhere else. Well, actually for a bathroom, room is pretty fantastic here. Room is amazing here though. Goes straight up to 5 bars in the green. And even out here during the day, okay, it goes down to 4. We actually need to have more room stuff here, I think. Maybe a few, maybe some gargoyles outside to provide some room. That might be a good thing to buy, actually. I think we'll do that when he gets back from work. He'll have more money, we can afford it. They do provide a fair amount of room. He may not like them, of course, but I'm sure he'll grow to like them. You earned 1,100 simoleons. Time to buy a few decorative items for outside. There are a lot of them that you can get. You can even get things like this, the Tomb of Sometimes Why. It provides 4 room, it's rather expensive. We're looking at... okay, never mind, they are 13,100. I think they're a little too expensive for us. Even with all of Samuel's money, we can't even afford one of them. We could get one of these, but I really don't think that they match with the decor outside. We could also get things like a desert nut lawn ornament, but we're not going to do that. I think we'll need to save up a little bit more money before we can get something as expensive as that. Also, what's the difference between getting, for instance, this and that? Not really much. It does take up a little bit less space, but that takes up the same amount of space as that, and is about 3,000 cheaper. That is even cheaper than all of them, and is still 10 room. That is 8 room, and I really don't think that he's ever going to be getting that. And what about the suits of armor? Are they in here somewhere? I think they are. Maybe they're in sculptures? They are. They are 15,000 simoleons. It's going to be a while before you get one of those, Samuel, that's for sure. What are you going to do right now? I think you're going to cancel that interaction and this interaction, and then we're going to ponder what we're going to do with this money. We could fill up that bowl. It's a good idea that we actually do so. Let's have one interaction with you, shall we? We shall just give you a hug, and then we'll fill up that bowl so that we don't have any bad situations like them going hungry. We could also have you play the piano for a tiny bit. Good idea. Meanwhile, Melisande is having hours of fun there. And hopefully this interaction won't go wrong. It did not go wrong. Fantastic. And I've no idea why you're going that way when you could have literally walked through the house, but I suppose you get to see the garden by going that way, and you rarely ever interact with that, do you? Okay, time for you to play the piano. We could have you ring Dave. That hasn't been going very well, has it, though? Ringing Dave has generally been a disaster. We may have to have you take a day off work and just invite Dave over, because that relationship could be better. I think that's pretty much max. Marvellous. We'll try and ring Dave once more. Look, I know I may have angered you last time, but hopefully this time we can have a conversation. And Dave's like, are you going to say bad things about Yeti Man? No, I never watched Yeti Man. You've never watched Yeti Man? Well, I did when I was around talking to you, but never otherwise. But why not? Well, I don't have a television. That's no excuse. You could read the novelizations. But I don't have space in my bookshelf. And then Dave hangs up.
Grow.
Is this interaction? Okay, this is going to happen this time. I don't know how long it's going to happen for. Let's see. Okay, it's not going too badly. Nope, it went a little bit badly. We're going to have to invite you over at some point. That was only 1 in the positive. Not great. I think it's time... Actually, we could have you study some more cooking. That's a good idea, considering the fact that you're not going to be going to work tomorrow. That can't hurt. Alright, study some cooking until you can't study anymore. And no, I'm not going to light that fireplace for quite a while. I'm still a little concerned that it'll start setting fire to everything, and that wouldn't be good. Okay, your energy still hasn't dropped to nearly nothing, so we'll have you do this for a little while longer. It is going to take a while for you to gain that point of cooking, but every little bit of progress does help. Time for rest now, I think. We may even want to replace that at some point. Because room in here is still pretty awesome. I thought it was going to be much lower, but that is the lowest that it is in any of these rooms really, apart from the bathroom. And maybe the room with the cats. Okay, time for you to rest, and you actually can gain benefits from the room stat. I thought you wouldn't be able to, but you can. Alright, it doesn't matter about you missing work today, so you're just going to sleep until... Yeah, that seems like a good idea. Just get up naturally and go and have some food. Time for you to, you know what? Have a quick breakfast. Why not? Not a bad plan. Have a quick breakfast and then do all of this and then play the piano for a tiny bit. And I've no idea what you're going to do with the rest of the day, but whatever it is, it's going to be amazing. Okay, that does look like a nice meal. Not as nice as what you normally have, but hey, it's your day off, Samuel. You can have whatever meal you like. You could have even ordered pizza. Then again, I don't even know if you like pizza, so that may be a terrible idea. Apologies for the interruption there. Let us continue. You're going to cancel that action there because you're not going to work. You can wait all you like, Carpool. He's not going. He's going to be focusing on improving his relationship with his brother. That is, after his brother has returned from work himself at 5 o'clock. So we do have a fair bit of time with which to do other things, like we could improve our cooking a bit more. And that needs to be filled up as well, so we'll do this, and then we'll do that. And the Carpool drives away, which isn't bad. Melisande is in the way of the exit from the bathroom. I really did think about having a second bathroom upstairs, but in the end I thought it was better just to have one. After all, Samuel doesn't need a second one for a second person. He is the only person that lives here, and the cats have no real need for the bathroom. We're just going to ignore that, because we know what that is. We know that that is work ringing us, and that is fun, pretty much sorted. Time to go and study some more cooking. If we're lucky, we could get that extra point of cooking, which will bring us up to, that is quite good. It will bring us up to 8. Hopefully we can manage it. I think we're going to manage it. And manage it we indeed did. We now have 8 points of cooking, which is fantastic. And why don't you prepare some food now? If you serve dinner now, it'll be ready for Dave when he comes round, because we are going to be inviting Dave over. We are going to be waiting on eating it ourselves, though, because we can always talk about parties while Dave is here. We're just going to cancel that, and just wait a tiny bit so that we can... We can't actually look at that, even though it provides room. It would be nice if, with items that provide room, you could have a look at them and see if you like them. You could do that with art pieces. I don't even know, by the way, if he likes this. Let's have a look, shall we? Do I like this piece of art? I have had it since nearly the beginning. You know what? I'm completely indifferent to this thing that I've been holding on to for all of this time. I think it's time for you to ring Dave and say hello, and then interact with Melisande for a little bit. Why not? We might as well have you come over and see if we can patch up this relationship and get it to maximum if we can. It wouldn't take that much. It's worth doing either way. And he does want to come over. Fantastic. I'd have been very surprised if he'd have said no. And he's not going to invite anyone else around? We're just going to wait for Melisande to finish doing that, and then one interaction there, and then a second interaction, which will help out with that social. We seem to have a good balance going on here with Melisande and Danielle. Danielle really doesn't need any attention from Samuel at all. Okay, that interaction is nearly finished, and I think... Oh, he's brought food over! Have you brought over a kind of cake? That's wonderful! I've already prepared food, but hey, cake is nice. We'll never say no to cake. Maybe this is some cake of revenge. It's like, oh, did you ruin my party with... where are you going, Dave? Dave? I've no idea why you walked over there, but I really want to greet you and take that cake. There we go. Much better. Thank you very much for the cake. We're most certainly going to put that on the... put that there, I think. And then we'll have the food that I've prepared. Or you're going to put it over there for some reason. Never mind, I can always move it. You just, we're not going to have you eat that. We're going to actually have you, you wanted to go and have the cake, did you? Well, you can't have the cake. You might as well go and get some food instead. Yep, you're going to go grab that food instead. Much better. It's a fruit cake. I'm sure we'll eat that at some point. You just grab a meal, and then we'll go sit down and talk about everyone's favourite topic. Parties. Because they love talking about parties. And that will deal with one of Dave's needs. The other need, which is fun, is going to be a little bit more challenging considering the fact that there's no television for them to watch. Maybe I should actually buy a television for Samuel. That said, I don't really think he'd watch it that much anyway. I think he only watched the television once or twice, and he never really enjoyed it. Is this improving their relationship? I'm actually not sure it is. It isn't improving it, actually. But that will help with that need. That will mean that we can talk to Dave for longer. Not bad. He's in a really good mood, Samuel. Just humming to himself as he gets rid of that plate. We might not end up eating that fruitcake, though. Our hunger is pretty much at full, after all. And we might have a conversation with, Dave. Why not? We'll talk about interests here, just once, and then we'll let him go to the toilet, as he is heading in that direction. This will help improve things. Now it's at 70, and soon it will be at 73. You can take care of that plate afterwards. We'll probably have to, throw that away, and that away in a little bit. Yep. We might actually go and do that ourselves soon enough, but most likely after Dave has left. I wonder what Dave thinks about Samuel's house. He's like, it does vaguely look like his house, but everything's sort of different. More expensive and more, just more expensive, really. I don't really know how to describe it. It's far better than my house, that's for sure. Are you going to? Yep, you're going to walk into here, and then we're going to talk to you before you leave this room, as this room is the room with the best room. It is the roomiest of the rooms. It isn't the largest of the rooms, though. You're going to talk about that. Does he like that? He does, but he didn't seem that interested in talking about it. And how is that doing? It is 80 right now. 80's not bad. 83 is better, though. 83 is better. And talking about parties, always the best thing to do. I think this relationship is going to be at 100 before we know it. And that will be a success. Energy is really low for you though, Samuel. Really low. And yes indeed, he's going to leave. He's not had any entertainment at all. Understandable, considering he's come to see Samuel, but that relationship is almost at 100. I'm going to consider that a resounding success. Tomorrow, though, Samuel will return to work once more. And you need to, yep, bladder has been taken care of, energy really needs to be taken care of, and hopefully we won't get a phone call in the middle of the night, because, if anything, having a phone call really wastes your time, because you spend all the time getting up, and then going back to sleep, and you really need to get up, even though your energy isn't that great. And both of those bowls are empty. Time for you to fill those up first. Hunger is bad for Danielle, but not for Melisande. Melisande must have eaten the, what remained of the food. You'll do that, and then you'll do this, and then that, and then that, and you probably won't have time to deal with fun. But taking care of those bowls was the most important thing. Oh, you won't have time to take care of fun. But you won't need any fun. Okay, do that, and then this very quickly, and then you have to go to work right now. Yep, time to go right now. Do you have to run? You don't have to run. Excellent, I was a little concerned that Melisande would get in the way, and that would ruin everything for you, Samuel. Everything. the maid will come round and take care of everything that has been... the fruitcake has lasted for quite a while. Maybe he'll have a slice of fruitcake when he gets home. Why not, eh? It is there, and I can only presume that Dave prepared it. Maybe it's because he has quite high cooking that he can prepare things like fruitcake. There are bills, though. We're going to have to take care of them. I imagine they're actually going to be a bit less than they were before. Not much less, because we did buy that, but I don't think that will actually have much of an impact. We're going to find out. How much cheaper? 884. I think that's roughly the same, actually. So you're going to pay for them, and then we're going to interact with Melisande. She actually needs some interactions. Social has deteriorated quite quickly. Alright, we'll have another interaction here. This is the best angle with which to select interactions. 1, and 2, and then 3. Who's a good cat? Also, where is the angle that I like to have? It is not that one, it is this one. Always get confused with the angles. And I think that should be enough on the interaction front. It is. Have a slice of fruitcake. Why not, eh? And then you need to have some fun. But tomorrow is when you'll be having that fun, because your energy is really low, and actually we'll just have you have the fun now. But we'll have the fruitcake before then. Do you like fruitcake, Samuel? It seems like you do. A rare treat for you. The last time you had a treat, it was all of that ice cream that you had on holiday. I thought that was cake. It wasn't cake, it was ice cream. And so when we come back, folks, we're going to consider what we're going to be buying for Samuel's home. I think it's likely going to be a swimming pool. But in general, Samuel is going to need to focus on a new objective, now that his creativity is very close to 10, and his cooking is getting close to 10 as well. And that objective is not going to be another promotion. I don't want to try and gain 8 family friends. That would be monstrous. So I'll catch you next time, folks, and I'll see you then. Dag dag. And Danielle walks off to go and find Melisande. And what fun they will have. What fun. And what amazing music that is. Just brilliant. Dag dag.